Good morning. My name is Simon McBurney. I don't know what time it is with you. It could be afternoon, evening, any other time. But I'm speaking to you from my home in Gloucestershire, in the west of England, in the UK. And I'm showing you the field outside our window. And something about this field brings the past into the present, because this field, for me, talks about separation. Why does it talk about separation? Because starting in 1773 with the Enclosures Act, all public land became private. And it began a process in which all traditions which connected man to nature throughout the 19th century, a process which continues on into corporate capitalism of the 20th and 21st century, in which we become more and more separated from nature in a myriad of different ways. And this is fundamental to how we feel now. Before this point, these fields would have been common land. That is to say, they would have been owned by all of us. And this sense of communality or communal participation, of course, is essential when we think of theatre. Because as the research shows, one of the reasons why we need theatre, by theatre I mean all forms of communal gathering. It could be there's the theatre of the funeral, there's the theatre of the wedding, there is the theatre of feasting together, as well as the theatre of being within a theatre. There are so many different aspects of theatre within all our lives. But one of the points about theatre is that, and this research done recently in America showed that within moments of people beginning to watch a piece of theatre together, their hearts begin to beat in time together. In other words, what theatre can do is make us understand how we are connected rather than separated from each other. And one of the most powerful senses we've had within this pandemic, and what it has to teach us, is to do with the nature of separation. One of the things that a lot of people ask as a consequence of this pandemic and shutdown and so on is, aren't you looking forward to things going back to normal? Well, we can't go back. It's impossible. Time doesn't work like that. One of the curious aspects of time is that we seem to be constantly going forward, although in truth we don't really know what time is, which is one of the interesting things about the theatre, is that you ask an audience to come into a space and share the time. They have to give up something when they come into the theatre because they must submit to the time of the theatre. One of the things that they can't do is stop, rewind, go out, do something else. They have to be within the time of that story, of that exchange. And one of the things that we cannot do now is go back. The only way is to go forward. And that means change, movement, and discovering something new. What that thing is, I don't know exactly. That's got to be discovered bit by bit. I have no idea what production I will make. I certainly won't make something about the pandemic because that's inherent in every single thing that we do. But one thing is certain, every aspect of this journey that we are making requires us to respond as theatre has always responded and to discover a new direction. How are we going to respond to this increasing sense of separation, which is even more emphasised in Britain by this absurd separation from Europe, this so-called Brexit, which only serves to divide and fragment us ever more? It's only another process by which the tyranny of the New World Order, corporate capitalism, can use us as products. Well, one of the things that theatre does is to connect. And this is our essential task. And one of the reasons that it's important is to do with time. I want to read you in response to everything that I've said, this little piece of Blaise Pascal, if you remember, when he says, "We never keep to the present." We recall the past. We anticipate the future as if we found it too slow in coming and were trying to hurry it up. We recall the past as if to stay its too rapid flight. We are so unwise that we wander around in times that do not belong to us and blindly flee the only one that does. The fact is, the present usually hurts. And this division of time is, of course, another aspect of the New World Order. Time is a political issue because we live in a moment where we think only of the recent past and the near future. In other words, I want that, I will have it, I buy it, and now it's gone, and I need to own the next thing. We are in a circle of ever-increasing profit. And one of the things that the theatre can do is to stop this sense of time, this, as it were, monetarization of time, because it can connect. It can reconnect people, and perhaps even make us remember the separation from the biggest rupture of all, which is our separation from nature.